about this? Let's get the sun is coming in. Good morning, everyone. Hi. Happy Saturday morning. As you see, I put a big question mark on this title, guys. Okay. This happens to be a little bit of area that I know about in management. So, if I'm going to show you the title. This is what we're going to talk about today. As I said, we're going to start talking about different news items, in Vermont, yes, but outside of Vermont also. So this one I picked because guess what? We have a Home Depot. This is about Home Depot. And the title is reading Allegedly, and this is by People Magazine, allegedly giving unauthorized discounts that total more than $4 million. The article is by Angel Saunders, and it's published April 25th, 2026. This is interesting, and it raises a lot of questions. And sorry, I'm just trying to get us a little bit more over here out of the sun. There's a lot of sun right here, which is good. But so guess what, guys? I still haven't heard from the Johnson Historical Society, and so I'm just going to leave that be. And I don't know if some of you know that Howard Coffin is actually the director of the Department of Humanities. So I may just throw him an email like directly, because he was the one advocating for the Julian Scott House to not be torn down. And, I would have thought at the very least they lift it and move it to preserve. There's a lot of history there, just the way the house is structured and being built in the mid 1800s. Julian Scott, they're talking about taking the posts and the beams. I mean, yeah, you can see a little bit of the architecture there, but it's not the full value of where Julian Scott grew up. So anyway, this article, guys, is astounding, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to repeat this throughout the article. As a VP manager myself for years, guess what? You have mid-managers that this guy was making his sales, giving his discounts. But you know what you have looking at your monthly ledgers are your CFOs. Where were the CFOs? This guy is going to come out on top. Let me read this article. It's astounding. They're going after a mid-manager here. Listen to this. A former Home Depot manager in Florida, so outside of Vermont, is facing charges for allegedly giving unauthorized discounts to shoppers, check it out, for years. I'd be looking at your CFO. In a heartbeat, the CFO could tell if there was a sale unauthorized. In a heartbeat. That's what they do. Mauricia Jimenez, I don't know if that's how you say his name, guys, but I'm taking a shot at it. 48 years old, Helia was arrested after allegedly costing the home improvement chain more than $4 million. Are you kidding me? A mid-manager? This guy should turn around and countersuit, and I really hope he does. I don't wish anything bad on Home Depot, but this to me sounds really fishy. The alleged fraud, quote unquote, resulted in him receiving large bonuses for hitting sales targets. Well, what were your higher ups doing, Home Depot? That's where you really should be looking at the mistake. A former Florida Home Depot manager has been arrested after allegedly providing repeat customers with unauthorized discounts that cost the company millions. He was arrested on April 21st by the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. Amen there. Totally agree. Especially nowadays, you need to be saying all the prayers you can say, right, guys? People reached out to the MDSO and Home Depot for comment, but they did not immediately receive a response. He is accused of using deliberate and systematic fraud tactics on at least 4,500 separate unauthorized purchases totaling around $55 million. In the video Wednesday, April 22nd. Hi, how are you, Stacy? And Dog Seer got SGI. How are you guys? Thank God it's Saturday. You know, I was going to do a lot of errands today. I was going to kind of go down to my old stomping grounds. And I had to, and you guys know I'm an artist, I had to lift a lot of my quilts yesterday and kind of go show them. And I usually use a little cart, and I didn't use my cart, and guess what? My back is out, and any of you who have had back pain, you know. So guess what? I'm not going anywhere, but I have a lot of art projects to do for clients, for venues, art venues. And okay, so anyway, this is what it says. Check it out. There is nothing that says he was receiving any kickbacks, like he was getting any benefit from this at all. So Melissa Rummes said that. She's his attorney. And it just says that he was issuing discounts to different companies. So let me tell you another thing that happens with management. The mid-managers are told by their higher-ups, go ahead, use your discretion to give the discounts. So the mid-managers get to know the customers. They're like, okay. And some of your customers scream that they want their discounts. For them to put this on a mid-manager, when I read this article, I said, I don't care, this is not in Vermont. We're sharing. Because I'd like to tell all of you mid-managers, stand up immediately and say to your higher-ups, you know what, if this is going to be a repeat thing, could you please put it in an email to me verifying that, and make sure you print it out and put it in your folder. Because I did HR, guess what, guys? I printed everything out. I wrote everything down. And it's a good thing, because then you can go back and you can say, hey, this manager, this higher up in this meeting, this is what I was told. Protect yourself is what I'm saying, especially nowadays. People just kind of, you know, they've got this guy using, as clearly to me, they're using him as a scapegoat. So look, it says, she says, he was just issuing discounts to different companies. Those discounts cost the company over $4 million. And by increasing his sales using those discounts, he was compensated with larger bonuses. Well, Mr. CFO, you should have figured this out way before you gave him a bonus. Because on your ledger, you have detail that even that manager doesn't have. Okay? So let's check it out. So it says, the prosecutor replied off camera, so I believe that there would be probable cause on both counts. After reviewing the arrest affidavit, Judge Glazer said, so he was selling items half off to those core customers. That's what I just said, didn't I? They get to know the customers repeatedly, noting that it went on for 26 months. The judge continued going over the documents, saying that Jimenez allegedly processed more than 4,500 separate orders, all with unauthorized markdowns, causing Home Depot to lose $4.3 million. Well, someone authorized it, because guess what? After the CFO sees that, in 1 month, they see the 50% off, the 30% off. It's right there. And no one said anything to him for all of those months. They are the ones who somebody needs to be looking at. Yeah. He was also compensated by Home Depot with large bonuses because of the higher sales. Well, if they approved it, then they approved it. It's on them. Uh, so then it says, I think that would be probable cause for everything, she said. Judge Glazer then ordered Jimenez to stay away from Home Depot at West Flagler Street in Miami. After stating that the former store manager had no priors, his bond was set at $15,000. See, $15,000 is kind of low compared to what he's being charged with, which means that the judge is seeing clearly through this case, because a mid-manager is not in charge of the entire corporation and handling all levels. A mid-manager is just handling when the customer comes in. And they did the same thing. I did a short stint many years ago when I was raising my 3 kids. I always had sometimes 3 jobs. And one of my part-time jobs was it was in a hotel. So the higher up manager, and it was evenings, part-time evenings. So the higher up, the in that particular job, she would leave early, and she'd say, use your discretion if you want to give a discount on a room, or use your discretion, like that. And if it didn't jive, you know what I mean? She would say something the next day or the next time you were on. She didn't wait 3, 4 years to say something. You get my drift here. So, citing the arrest affidavit, USA Today reported that the members of the Home Depot Assurance and Advisory Management Program noticed a high quality, high value, high markdown order at one of the company's stores that Jimenez, that's how you say it, Jimenez, was employed at. Management later observed multiple transactions that only Jimenez had access to and approved with red flags. So Jimenez was being held at the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center. You know, I really feel like I want to send a comment to the lawyer on this, because when I was HR, I had a lawyer actually tell me that she thought I knew more. She said, you have a lot of knowledge. But I had a lot of knowledge because guess what? I studied strategic management and organizational development. That was my expertise at a master level. That's what I studied. So that's why, and not only that, so then I went on for almost half a decade, right, to working in management. And I can tell you that a mid-level manager, first of all, for them to let this go on is highly suspicious to me at the higher management level, and there needs to be a full investigation. And I bet they find at the end of that investigation, the higher ups actually have another angle on this. Guarantee it, guys. That's my opinion, not saying that's fact, but I feel really bad for this guy because something's not jiving at all. So it's a very odd story. And the reason it's odd is the length of time and the amount. So, and I say that with absolute confidence because you have a CFO at a very high level with lots of experience looking at these ledgers ongoingly, and especially at month end. So it would be questioned very quickly at that time, not after, what is it, 4 years, did they say? With saying 26 months at one point, and then they're saying $4 million. So at another point, and so anyway, very, very interesting. Oh yeah, 2023 until 2026, but they're adding up 26 months. So, yeah, this is one of my expertise. I really love to jump into articles like this, especially when I can see right through the case in particular, and I definitely do not lend any, what do I want to say, legal consultation on it, but definitely my viewpoint. So thank you guys for being with me, and I just really wanted to share that with you. That's in Miami, Florida, and yes, we're going to be sharing some other things. And I have a few different articles I have saved on the scientists gone missing, 11 of them in the United States, 9 of them in China, and we're going to be looking into those articles next. And but for now, I just wanted to share this. I wanted to keep it short. Let me know what you think. Do you think this mid manager is totally responsible for all of this, the sale discounts he was giving? Or do you think his higher ups um, should have said something and noticed it maybe 25 months before 26 months went by? Let me know. So with that, you have a beautiful day, guys.